Welcome to the Green It Up Club. I'm Michael, and today we're talking about injury recovery. Now, you may have noticed that I suffered a little trauma yesterday. If you didn't see the previous video on first aid for injuries that I did yesterday when I got this, then go check that out. I'll have a link down in the description for that. But in this video, I'm talking about injury recovery. Now, what do you do after that initial injury? Within the first 24 hours, this is the most crucial time for the initial process. Hopefully in that first 24 hours after an injury, you've done all the right things, you've disinfected the wound, you've applied some ice. That's great, all within the first 24 hours. Hopefully you didn't need any surgery or anything like that. I try to avoid going to the hospital whenever possible because even for injuries like this, which I wouldn't consider it a super traumatic, I know it looks pretty horrible, but really it didn't need stitches. And I know that if I had gone to a hospital, they probably would have scrubbed the hell out of this wound to make sure it was disinfected, obviously. But when they're doing that scrubbing, they're scrubbing away a lot of the healthy tissue, the tissue that your body's laying down to repair all of that injury that just happened. And they would have cranked open my eyelid because it was swollen shut, and it's very swollen today. But they would have cranked it open and done a bunch of vision tests on me, and actually it's better for you to cover that eye. That's why they give out eye patches. It's better because any damage that was done to the lens or the cornea or the sclera, the outer layers of the eye and all the muscles that you use for your eye, that it's better to cover it up because it gives your eye a chance to rest and repair. And right now my eye is very swollen, both externally on the skin and internally. The eyeball itself is very misshapen, and it hurts to move it anywhere to the right or left or up or down. Let's talk about what to do at this point. Right now the bleeding has stopped, the swelling has actually increased. I don't know if you saw that first video, but my eye was bleeding at that time and it was a little bit swollen, but now the swelling's probably gone up twice as much. So I'm in the stage right now where it's very swollen, which is a sign of inflammation, which is actually very good because inflammation is how your body heals. It's a healing process. So if a doctor prescribes anti-inflammatories after an injury like this, yeah, the swelling might go down and the pain might be decreased, but the inflammation process has been stopped if you're taking an anti-inflammatory. So you won't be able to heal as quickly. And the same goes for those pain meds. If they give you any pain meds, that's gonna slow down the healing process as well. So any kind of medication will disrupt that process. This leads me to the first question. What do you do for that pain, that inflammation, that initial onset? I'm in day one of my recovery process, and it's very painful and it's very swollen, but your body is amazing at dealing with pain. It's able to secrete hormones that are more powerful than most pain meds, even morphine. Morphine is about as hard as you can get, hardcore pain reliever as you can get, and your body can actually secrete a hormone that is just as powerful, if not more powerful than morphine. So if you can train your body, even for like those aches and pains, if you're taking a daily aspirin or pain med, that's gonna decrease your body's ability to react to pain. So already, if you're in that state, already you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So over the years, I've developed a very high tolerance for pain, and my body's used to just responding super fast at the healing process. So I heal faster than most people. But that's an advantage that takes a long time to develop. So if you're not quite there yet, there are some natural options, because what do we do at the Green It Up Club? We're greening it up. We're not taking those crappy pain meds or non-steroidal anti-inflammatories or antibiotics. So what do? In the first video, I put hydrogen peroxide and raw honey on there. That was my natural antibiotic. Now, for pain relief, that night, the night that I got the injury, I did a smoothie with a bunch of pineapple, which is great, a great anti-inflammatory. I could have done fish oil, which is also another great anti-inflammatory, but I didn't want to do fish oil because that's also a great blood thinner and I was still bleeding, so I didn't want to take a blood thinner. If you want to learn more about pain relief, pain medications, and natural alternatives, check out Carolina's article. I'll put the link down in the description. So last night I did those natural anti-inflammatories in a smoothie, and then I had a big thing of green juice. I think it was 32 ounces. And this green juice had spinach and kale and more pineapple juice and a bunch of other stuff in there that was just filled with vitamins, minerals, especially vitamin K, which is actually great for clotting. That vitamin K is really good because it helps coagulate blood so that this would stop bleeding. So I did that last night. And that's also great because that filters the blood, that gets the blood moving. It'll improve your blood flow to get that blood up into that area. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing that I put in my smoothie that you'll definitely want to incorporate is hydrolyzed collagen. It doesn't have to be hydrolyzed, but hydrolyzed collagen mixes really well in smoothies, and we have a link on our website. I'll put a link down below for collagen. Collagen is fantastic for tissue repair. It's actually the building block for most of your tissue in your body, all that connective tissue, and it's essential for blood vessels. So I broke some blood vessels here yesterday, externally on the skin and as well as internally. Those blood vessels, that's what happens when you tear a blood vessel, it starts bleeding. So immediately your body's trying to repair those blood vessels after it stopped the bleeding. So that collagen is going to help me heal faster and help those blood vessels heal. You'll notice that I didn't get a whole lot of black and blue going on here. And I think that has a lot to do with really good blood flow from the juice, the collagen that I was doing, and all the anti-inflammatory stuff. Most people would just be super purple right here, but I just have a little swelling, a little redness right here, but it's not too bad. Also in the first video, I mentioned ice as a great way, ice and compression. You may hear doctors say the acronym RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Those are great rules to follow. However, they're only good for the first 24 hours. You don't want to be icing up your injury after the first 24 hours. Because remember, ice slows the blood flow down to that area where you're applying it. So you're decreasing that blood flow, which is great if there's blood coming out of that area or if there's a lot of swelling and it's very painful. That's really great. You want to decrease the swelling, you want to stop bleeding, that's great. That ice is only going to be good for the first 24 hours. What you want to do after the first 24 hours, why 24 hours? Because now your body has repaired all of those damaged blood vessels. Hopefully, if your body's functioning normally, you'll have repaired those blood vessels, and now it's time to increase blood flow to the area so that you speed up the healing time. And you want to use moist heat because that can penetrate up to 2 inches into your skin. So you can use a moist towel in the microwave or a moist hot pack. We have these really cool flaxseed hot packs that you can just throw in the microwave. That's pretty much all we use our microwave for, is for heating up hot packs. So that hot pack will be good. I'll be doing that until it's all the way healed. You can use heat as often as you want. The more you put it on there, it's just gonna speed up the healing process, and it will decrease the inflammation. You might feel some tremendous pain relief by applying a moist hot pack to the area. There is still so much to cover in terms of healing and recovering from a traumatic injury. And I'm gonna be doing updates every day until this whole injury is completely healed. And this is gonna be great, guys. I'm gonna cover stuff like red light therapy and different kinds of oils or ointments that you can put on there. Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know if you like this video and leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and hopefully I'll be able to do a hell of a lot more videos in the future. So stay tuned for more, and welcome to the Green It Up Club.